We are in a state of emergency.
Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
Gomane. Assemble the people, Gomane. We will not be defeated by witch doctors' illusions.
But let me preface my point with this story of Jeanette Salters, who renamed herself Mama Lena Diop, and her sister who named herself Nzinga Jana. They inherited some land, acquired the land in Ghana, and was murdered by the locals. Why? Because they were Americans. A few of the natives didn't feel it was right that foreigners had a right to that land. So, to go back to Africa Negro,
You see these? You can't buy these nowhere except from one person who produces them. Shabazz. I got them. You can't go to no store, no bookstore, or nowhere and get none of these DVDs on the history of the Nation of Islam, on the assassination of Malcolm X. I got them and watched them all. Y'all don't know shit. You can't get these nowhere. I know all the information. You ain't seen these? You ain't seen these? You're lacking. When I tell you something, believe it. You ain't seen none of this. You ain't seen none of these. Fuck out of here.
Peace, prayer, and always. I'm Soul Sister J. I'm Soul Sister D. And I just wanted to say thank you for all the people who helped to the medical fundraiser for my uncle Taalik. And it has meant so much to us that you would help, because without you guys, his life would not be possible and we would not be with him today right now. And I just wanted to say, for all of you that helped and that donated, I would really like to give a big thanks, and I hope that I can meet you one day and say thank you in person. I love you guys, and next. Okay.
I ordered this book, God is on Trial. I ordered this book from Amazon, and I must say I've read it. It's very well written, very thought-provoking.
Hey, my brother, you know I had to call you and thank you personally again. I cannot describe to you how happy I was to meet you in person, finally. That was just like amazing.
Set in Philadelphia, follow Camille Ebony as she discovers the woman she was meant to be in the blink of an eye, seemingly when her marriage, career, and life are rearranged, when a cool stranger enters the mix. She realizes for the first time in her life that she is able to throw caution to the wind and just be herself without any label or duties attached. All things must come to an end, though, and once again Camille finds herself taking on the requirements now of wife and mother. But when she is called upon to do one more favor, the journey to the heart of the matter continues, and she comes face to face with the realities of the girl she once was, the person she has wanted to be, and the woman she is. On the road to self-discovery, Camille soon realizes there must be some casualties.
Ellis becomes the first of the divas to offer the world her singular sound. And she does just that on Southern Gal.
anyway, you know, I'm done. So, you know, don't expect me to be on YouTube all the time, and you know, because none of you are helping me out. I have to go to work every day. I have to go to work, you know, to make money, and none of y'all are dropping me $5 or nothing in my Cash App or nothing. So don't expect me to come on here making videos all the time, because that's not gonna happen. Like I said, it takes a lot of energy to come on here and talk and make videos and put together, you know, presentations, you know, and you know, all of that take time and energy. You know, I mean, don't expect me to come on here talking and carrying on.
I keep it real.
What, dear? Because I keeps it real like that. I keeps it real.
Now, could you tell us what attracted you to joining the Nation of Islam and in what year this was?
I was introduced to the Nation of Islam as a very young child. I can't tell you what year. I just know that I was a little boy. That's all I can remember. I was introduced to these teachings by relatives who were members of the Nation of Islam. I would say it was the late 60s. That's the best I can do.
What was your expectations of the organization, and what was it that caused you to leave?
What attracted me to the Nation of Islam really was the brother and the sisterhood, and the talk about us getting our own nation, just the positive things that was said about us as so-called Negroes in America. And the pictures that I saw, the brothers standing strong, sisters standing strong, it was just, I just loved that. Now, as far as the teachings itself was concerned, I've always been a free thinker, and I never really was into the religion thing. But when you join something, you have to accept all of it, the religious teachings plus that which you was attracted to, which I didn't have a problem, because I was a Christian, and it really, as far as the moral code was concerned, there really wasn't too much difference, and it just coincided with one another, and I just went with that. It's just, again, it was just the beauty of it all, of us as a people doing something incredible. That's what I loved about it. What caused me to leave was really for the best interest of all involved, because it had gotten to the point where it did not live up to the expectations that I was thinking about. The moral code, the way things was run, business-wise, I was questioning things, and it was best that I leave, because I wasn't believing no more. When you stay somewhere, see, this is where the word hypocrite comes in, and what people don't understand about hypocrisy. Hypocrites don't stay in the house. I mean, hypocrites stay in the house. And if I stay in the Nation of Islam with my mindset, I would be a hypocrite, because I'm a disbeliever. I'm not real about it anymore. So that would make me a hypocrite, because I'm pretending to be something that I'm not. I'm not into that no more. So it was best for me to leave, because I'm not that no more. I'm questioning a lot of the teachings. I was under Minister Louis Farrakhan at the time. There was things that he was saying, things that he was doing I did not agree with. It just wasn't working. So it was best for all involved that I take myself out of that situation.
Okay, could you tell us what mosque you was under? And you did already mention that you were under Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Well, I was under the leadership of Minister Farrakhan. He's the leader of this version of the Nation of Islam. And I want to remind the people that the Nation of Islam does not exist. The Nation of Islam was dissolved in 1975. And no one has the right, legal right to the name of Nation of Islam. It's really under public domain. So anybody can be the Nation of Islam. Minister Louis Farrakhan legally is the Final Call Incorporated. He has no legal right to the Nation of Islam. He's just using the name, and anybody can use the name Nation of Islam. But he's the leader of this version. The original version was under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and after he died, that was the end of it. His son, who was the only one who had the rights to, and of course the family, they have the right to the name Nation of Islam. They're not concerned. They don't care nothing about it. And the son, who was the last leader or the heir, he dissolved the Nation of Islam, so it no longer exists. Technically, it does not exist. But I joined under Minister Louis Farrakhan in his organization, which is legally is called the Final Call Incorporated. That's why you don't see Minister Farrakhan trying to claim the rights to Elijah Muhammad's writings, Message to the Black Man, Our Savior Has Arrived, and all the different, the old Muhammad Speaks newspapers. He has no right to none of that because he's not the Nation of Islam. But in his version, I was under Brother Akbar Muhammad, who also was his national assistant at the time. And he was the minister. He was Brother Larry X. Prescott. He was the minister of East St. Louis, or St. Louis Temple number 28. And that's who I was under when I was in the Nation of Islam. But I joined in New York City in Temple number 7. And I forgot who the minister was, but I joined the Temple number 7 under who was talking? Brother Aleem Muhammad. No, what was his name? He's Aleem Muhammad now. Forgot what Maurice Muhammad at the time. So I actually joined in New York City, Temple number 7. And then when I left and went back to my hometown in Illinois, I joined the St. Louis Temple, or East St. Louis Temple number 28B, under Brother Akbar Muhammad, or Brother Larry X. Prescott.
Okay. When and how did you learn about Malcolm X?
It's messed up. I learned about Malcolm X on a fluke, because I really didn't know about Malcolm X until the 80s. I read about different leaders and whatever, but I never heard this man. I never heard about him until Minister Farrakhan started teaching about Malcolm X and what Malcolm X in relation to the Nation of Islam. And he told this story, how Malcolm came out of prison, came out of jail. He was able to change himself with the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. And he came out of prison, and the man had some skills. He brought the Nation of Islam from almost nothing to great notoriety all over the world, this man, in his 12 years of working in the Nation of Islam. But something happened, and the relationship went bad, and Minister Farrakhan called Malcolm X a hypocrite and a traitor, and he was worthy of death, and he started talking really bad about this brother. And my thing is, even if somebody came to me about you, I listen to what they have to say, but I can think for myself. I will learn, I will find out about you. I don't need this other person's help. I listen to what you have to say. So it's the same thing that with Malcolm. I'm listening to Minister Farrakhan, and I want to tell you this. I'm not a follower. I was there to help Minister Farrakhan. I didn't know who Farrakhan was until the 80s. I don't know who this man was. The only person I knew of was Elijah Muhammad himself. And this man Farrakhan, I don't know who he was, whatever. And I stood up not to follow him, to assist him, because he told us that he was bringing back the original teachings of the Nation of Islam. Now, who I wanted to follow was the man that died, Elijah Muhammad. That's who I wanted to follow. But by the time I got of age, Elijah Muhammad passed in 1975. So there was no way. I was a little boy, 1975, when I was 11, 12 years old. There was no way I was in a position to join the Nation of Islam. So, and plus, by 1975, it was destroyed. Minister Farrakhan came up in 1977 to try to raise that nation back up. And I heard about it. I always wanted to be part of the nation. So when I heard, and my relatives, they was part of they was riding with Minister Farrakhan. So I wanted to be part of that because I always wanted to be part of that growing up. So I heard about Malcolm X through him. And he started talking bad about Malcolm X.
So when you heard the Nation of Islam's version of the story, did you also conclude he was a bad guy?
No, I did not. No, I did not. I began to do my own research. I studied what had happened, and I did not come to the same conclusion. My relatives got angry at me because that was the story that they was fed, even from back then. That was the story they was fed, and they believed that. But upon my examination, my own study, matter of fact, I saw a lot of Malcolm X in myself. And I'm about the truth. I'm about what's right. You know, right is right, wrong is wrong. I did not see nowhere where Malcolm had done anything wrong at all.
So why would anyone, regardless of skin color, be attracted to Malcolm X?
Malcolm represents, to me, Malcolm represents a lot of things. I mean, he came from a bad place, ended up in prison, and he was able to, with the help of the teachings, have to add that, we have to give credit where credit is due. He was influenced and inspired by these teachings and took himself from what some may call, seemed to be, well, it was a bad place, a criminal, drug dealer, you know, just low life in the streets. And he was able to raise himself from that to national, global prominence. So I think regardless of color, people can relate to that. Also, if you study Malcolm, even though he was associated with the Nation of Islam and they have these different doctrines or whatever, Malcolm, you could relate to him. He was not what they call, well, first of all, black people can't be racist, but he saw people as human beings, and people could see the sincerity in him regardless of whether they agree with him or not.
Okay, so you just explained a little bit about why you admired him, and obviously you don't believe he was a racist?
No, again, black people can't be racist. So he can't be a racist because black people can't be. We are victims of racism, but we cannot be racist. In order to be racist, you have to have a certain amount of power over the one over your victim. Like, say, for instance, we said, we're actually going back, and if you do your research, just a little taste, when they talked in the original dictionary version of racist, the only one who was racist was white people. That's the only thing that was associated with racism. Nobody on the planet uses their skin color to claim superiority over nobody. The only one who has done that is Caucasian people all over the world. That's what they do. And this is their dictionary. Their original dictionary, racist, white supremacy, they related to white people because that's what they was doing. They were saying that their skin color is superior over others. What makes them a racist is that not only do they believe that their skin color is superior, but they can force that on others because of they can, like us in this country, they control our education, they can control our employment, they control our food, they control all these aspects of our life. We don't affect them at all. So we can say whatever we want to say out of our mouths, but we don't affect them being employed, their housing, their food sources, none of that kind of stuff. We have no power over them. So Malcolm cannot be racist just on that point. But he wasn't racist anyway. He was just a person looking for justice for people deprived of justice. And it just so happened he was deprived of justice because of the color of his skin.
If reparations would ever be granted to Black people, how would it benefit us, and what form would that be?
Well, first of all, reparations will never be granted to us. Never. It's not going to be, that's not even something to think about no more. Our people, our ancestors have been fighting and asking, requesting for reparations ever since the end of the Civil War. And these people that you're dealing with didn't even give you the 40 acres and a mule. So if you're going to give somebody reparations, you would think they would give it to the people who really, really needed it. And that was our ancestors straight off the slave plantation. And they gave them nothing. Matter of fact, what they done was steal from them. They suggested to the newly freed, these newly freed people from slavery, take your money that you're saving and put it in the freedmen's bank. And our people did that, and they stole the money. That's why a lot of our people start putting their money in under the mattress, digging holes in the ground. Matter of fact, even my grandmother, I remember she was telling me about some cans of money she had in the backyard she had dug up because they didn't trust banks. And it all comes from when they stole all that money. And I believe it was about $40 million at that time. It was about $40 million worth of savings that our people put in there. And then we stayed on the plantation. We became sharecroppers. And some of us made enough money where we actually bought the land. And they messed around and stole that too. So you're dealing with people, when you talk about reparations, you're dealing with people, like Invoke said, you're never gonna get it, never get it. You're never gonna get that. So you also say that what we do with it. What was that? You said, what are we ready for reparations?
What form?
Yeah, what form of reparation?
Would it come in?
Would it come in? Well,
what form should it?
Should it come in? Should it be? Well, again, I really haven't dwelt on that really because I know we're never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. I really don't. So I really haven't thought about that. But reparations can come in many kind of different ways. It can come in land grants. It can come in monetary allotments. It can be, you don't have to pay taxes for the next 100. Our people don't have to pay tax for the next 100, 200 years or whatever. It can come in many kind of reparations can come in many kind of ways.
So why did the CIA, FBI perceive Malcolm to be a serious threat?
Malcolm wasn't the only serious threat. Any brother or sister that stand up for yourself in this country is a threat. So it's just not Malcolm. Anybody that does something against this lifestyle in this country is a threat. So it's just not, I'm a threat. I'm a threat. Any of us who stand up and contrary and speak against this system is a threat. Anybody. Not, it don't even make no difference what skin color you are. Anybody that's against this system is a threat.
So the leader of the Black Muslims, Mr. Elijah Muhammad, taught his followers that one day Allah was going to destroy white people for their misdeeds they've done on earth. Does this charge against white folks still exist? Is this promise of destruction still in effect?
Well, I'm not into religion, religious, I guess you could say religious dogmatism and all these prophecies and God gonna do this. I haven't seen nothing that God has done personally. In my whole lifetime, they keep giving these, they said that God gonna do this and God gonna do that. I have not seen this. Now, according to history, nations go up, nations go down. And America is on a pathway to self-destruction. And God has nothing to do with it. God had nothing to do with the fall of Egypt. God had nothing to do with the fall of Rome. These civilizations, these nations, they fall because they were conquered by somebody else. Sometimes they fall because of, like, I think we talk about the Aztecs or something like that. They had natural disaster. It was a drought or something happened that they couldn't eat and they fell. They chopped down all the trees and all the topsoil disappeared. So this prophecy, because somebody do something evil and wicked and God gonna do this, personally, I have not seen this, but there's actions that you're doing here, and we're living here just like recently. You had the taking of the Capitol building by a few people. They rushed the Capitol building, and see, civil war, internal affairs, things of this nature. If that type of dissension can grow, that can cause this nation to fall. Internal conflict. It has nothing to do with God. It's dissatisfaction among the people within that nation, and then it can fall. They're doing a lot of different things that is detrimental to its own existence.
So has religion failed Black people, or have Black people simply failed themselves?
You can use religion to inspire you to do certain things. Harriet Tubman, they just had a Harriet Tubman movie. Harriet Tubman was inspired by her God, inspired by her spiritual belief. Marcus Garvey was driven by religion. Malcolm X, of whom we're talking about, he's inspired by God. He's inspired by his spiritual beliefs. However, when you're looking at the masses of the people and the way that they approach religion, it does not make them aspire that way. It makes them docile, where they're more easily controlled by the powers that be, because instead of fighting and stand up fighting like Malcolm or Marcus Garvey or Harriet Tubman or even Dr. King, they are waiting on a spook, some kind of spirit, some kind of ghost, something to come save them when they should be standing up, do something for themselves, inspired, and knowing that their God backs them up in doing what is right for themselves.
In recent times, you've suggested that Black people organize to migrate to the state of Mississippi. Can this actually be accomplished, and how so?
Well, I want to take this time to clarify my position. Not for me, but for those who I guess they can't hear very well, because I never said nothing about migrating to the state of Mississippi. And there's a wonderful 4-minute video that was produced by Shabazz Production, and you listen to that video. It said nothing about migrating to the state of Mississippi. I don't know why they keep saying that, but it's being said. I said nothing. The original presentation of the idea, I never said let's migrate or have an exodus to Mississippi. Never said that. What was said was we should inspire the population to use their voting power to take control, to win the mayorship, the governor's house, the mayors of the town, the seats of council, inspire them to take control of the political seats in that state, so that you can take control of that state. You take control of the laws. You make the policy. Now you you are in a geographical area where now that you benefit, and the rest of the nation help Mississippi in this transitioning period, help them to do that, because if this one particular state, we take control of it, it can benefit the whole 40 million, the whole. That's what was said. And you say, can something like this be possible? Can it be a reality? It's not really my idea. If you go back after the Civil War and you go look at the South, they were doing, our ancestors was doing that anyway. Anyway, we was the vast majority of the population, and we was doing it anyway. Why you think those Peckerwoods in the South were still getting upset? They did not want our people to vote and take these seats, because they would be in the seats of power. They would be the governor. They would be the mayors. They would be all the controlling powers in these little towns. They would be running things. And that scared the hell out of those Peckerwoods down there. That's why the Ku Klux Klan was created, to terrorize our people, to keep them from doing what we can do today, because we don't have to worry about that today. So it caused a lot of them, it disrupted them. They were terrified. Many of them exodus out of the South to the north, to the east, to the west, or whatever. They was doing it anyway. So the only thing I'm telling us is, let us do what our ancestors was doing anyway. We should be controlling the South itself. So we're going to begin with the state of Mississippi. You control the state of Mississippi, and then you can begin to branch out, take Alabama, Georgia, and Southern.
The Nation of Islam has a paramilitary form of the organization of which, without weapons, say they can protect themselves without firearms. Is this realistic?
Well, you would have to, I'm not Nation of Islam, so you would have to really ask them, is that realistic? I have nothing to do with that. However, being familiar with those teachings, that's the teachings. The teachings of Elijah Muhammad was, we were not to carry as much as a penknife, that God, Allah, protect us. However, he also added, when the time arises, or if the time arises, I don't know, he never explained how he was going to do it, but he could arm us to the teeth, because he knew that there will be a time that we have to defend ourselves or whatever, and we could handle those weapons. That's part of the teachings also. So, no, I mean, there's a purpose for us not carrying weapons. But also Elijah Muhammad also said in the teachings, there will come a time, we're going to have to get down, and I don't know how they're going to do it, but they will get weapons.
Are Black people in general in a healthy state of mind to properly manage reparations in any form, whether it's money, education, or land grants?
No, we're not in a position, especially monetarily. What people don't understand about reparations are to repair a people, not your personal pocket. There are a lot of movements right now, especially in the younger generation. They talk about reparations, but it's this idea, give me my money, and they want to become instant millionaires. They don't have to go and play Powerball or nothing like that. This is instant money for them, and that's not how reparations supposed to work. It can do that. You can do that, but that would not be wise. It would not be wise to give people who only know how to spend money. They don't know how to make money. The only thing they know how to do is spend money. So now I'm gonna tell you, if I was a Peckerwood, I would give these Negroes, I'll be a Negro, I'm calling myself a Negro. I would give them, just so they can shut the hell up, give them $2 million a piece. There you go. Give everybody, you just spit out a baby, whatever, get $2 million for you. All that money before the first day, most of it gonna go right back to them, because we don't produce nothing. Most of it's gonna go right back to them. So why would you be afraid to give them money like that? The first thing they're gonna do is buy cars and houses and do dumb stuff or whatever, and drugs and alcohol, the majority of that money gonna go right back to them. It won't take long. Before the year out, all that money be right back in your hand because you don't produce nothing. It's not like you give me $2 million and I'm producing my own food, clothing, and shelter, and I'm paying myself. I'm giving it all back. Now, reparations in the form of we don't pay taxes, that would be cool. I mean, because we don't have no control of that. You know, if you can show that you're a descendant of slave born in America, an African American or American Negro, and you qualify not to pay federal taxes for the net, we don't pay. That's a form of reparation. We can work with that. That's not nothing personal. But see, that's real reparations because it's not in the hands of individuals. Giving people individual money, that's not really reparations because you putting that money in the hands of individuals for individuals to do whatever. Reparation is designed and supposed to benefit the people that was hurt. That's what it's supposed to be for. Not for you to go out and buy a Cadillac for your own personal use. To relieve student debt, black people, we don't have to pay back our federal student loans. See, that helps us. That's reparations for us. You know, for us as a people, things of that nature. But as far as talking about like giving us some ducats, oh no, it's not going to work. Matter of fact, your condition probably even get worse because you taking this money and you putting yourself in a different hellhole. That's what you're doing.
Before we close this interview, is there anything you like to speak about that we didn't ask you?
Well, right now, my main concern and the main thing that I'm promoting right now is something called Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign. We talked about that a little earlier about this Mississippi campaign. And as far as I'm concerned, it's the most realistic and the best option that we have. It has nothing to do with religion, has nothing to do with my personal beliefs. It's just putting us in a better position in this country. It offers us a plan, gives us a purpose. It helps us, or it causes us to be more creative. We have a vision and a goal. All these different things. So we know where we're going. We know we got the plan. We know what we need to do. And the benefits is incredible. No time in our history have we taken control of a state. It has never been done. And I would like for you to watch the 4-minute video produced by Shabazz Productions, where it tells us about some of the benefits. And actually, that's just a little taste. The Mississippi campaign, taking control of a state, gives you power and gives you influence. Having just a black business is not going to give us any power. It's not going to give us any influence. Becoming a billionaire, individuals becoming a billionaire, that's not going to help us none. Like I said, you're looking for something that the whole 40 million can get on board. We got a lot of things going, but if it's influenced by religion, I'm not no Muslim. I'm not no Muslim, so I don't want to get with that. I'm not red, black, and green. I'm not a Christian. Yeah, but see, this is something that has nothing to do with none of those things. It's just simply economics. It's simply like the Civil Rights Bill. The Civil Rights Bill has nothing to do with Dr. King's personal belief. He's a Christian. It was something, just a tool to put us in a better position in this. And if you do it right, a lot of the things that we talk about, like our own independent nation, and a lot of us talking about having this relationship with Africa, all these things can be a reality, but if you gain power. Right now, we have no power. We have no influence. We talk, but nobody really listens. What was that? There was a commercial, J.G. Wentworth or whatever, somebody, whenever they talk, people listen. That's because he got some kind of power. That's because he got some kind of pull. When we talk, they listen, but they're like, okay, so what's going to happen if I don't listen to you? Nothing. See, they listen to a lot of us talk about the gay community. Yeah, but the gay community got pulled. But they earned it. They out there in the streets. They getting political power. They paying certain politicians off. They're going to get listened to. You just sit around and you don't do nothing. You think people are just supposed to do something for you because that's not how things work in America. You got to pay people. You got to put yourself in a position where, well, if you don't do this, I'll give you a quick example. When Michael Jackson's Billie Jean was released, MTV did not want to play it. And his record company, Sony, said, well, if you don't play Billie Jean, I got all these other artists on MTV. I'm going to pull them. You're not going to play them either. See, you got to have some kind of power. You got to have some kind of influence. So if Sony pulled these other artists, that's going to mess MTV up. So MTV said, well, we can't lose them because they attracting all these viewers. So they played Billie Jean. And of course, as you know, Billie Jean blew up. But that's because Sony got power and influence. If you don't have power and influence, nobody want to listen to what you got to say. It don't mean nothing. So the Mississippi campaign is a plan. It has a vision, has a goal to give us power. So when we talk, Biden listen, Kamala Harris listen, whoever gonna listen, because if they don't, there's a consequence. Right now, nobody listens to us because there's no consequence.
We are in a state of emergency.
Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
Anyway, I'm done. So, don't expect me to be on YouTube all the time, and because none of you are helping me out. I have to go to work every day. I have to go to work, to make money, and none of y'all are dropping me $5 or nothing in my Cash App or nothing. So don't expect me to come on here making videos all the time, because that's not going to happen. Like I said, it takes a lot of energy to come on here and talk and make videos and put together, presentations, and all of that take time and energy. I mean, don't expect me to come on here talking and carrying on.